Thank you. Thank you. Everyone, my name is Jeff Gardner, CEO of Carousel Industries. Appreciate your time today. Things happening within Carousel, and I think something that helps us stay on the cutting edge of technology is really our healthy paranoia that we all have within us. And to get into that into a little bit more detail, I'd like to introduce to you my very good friend, Mr. Jim Marsh. Jeff, I love you, buddy. I know I say this a lot, but I can't say it enough. We're friends, but really turns into the Carousel family. Phew!
God bless, Jim.
Thank you. Well, unfortunately, I have a business meeting to attend today, so I'm going to let my prodigy, Marc Scasino, take it from here. Thanks, Jim. I really appreciate the kind words. I always knew you felt that way about me, but it's nice to actually hear it. So my name is Marc Scasino. I'm an account executive with Carousel Industries. My territory is Southern California, and fortunately for me, I live in beautiful sunny San Diego. So today I'm going to be running through a Carousel corporate pitch. I'm happy to do so because I think I should know it pretty well by now. All my friends ask me. I have to tell my mom every other week what I actually do. So I think I got it down by now. The easiest way to get into things, though, is probably starting at the beginning and doing a little bit of a backstory of where Carousel began to where we are now as a company. So I'd like to take it back 23 years ago. It all started in a sub shop with Jeff Gardner and his brother. They were actually had an interesting opportunity doing a cabling job, a little side opportunity, and they realized that there could actually be some business behind this. So over the next 4 years, they grew the sub shop. It went from answering a call for an Italian combo and answering another call for 40 drops. They started progressing as a business, realized there could be some money to be made here, and they started selling refurb telecom phones, power cords, one-offs, things like that. And it wasn't really until 1997 that Carousel partnered with Avaya. And over those past 19 years to present, Carousel has grown that relationship to be the 2015 Mid-Market Partner of the Year. So big applause to Carousel. Another thing to note is that we sell 65 plus IP offices per month, but that's not the reason that we got this award. It wasn't because we're selling the most Avaya. It's because we're providing the best services. And the idea of managed services is something that Carousel's really been working on for several years. And I think one thing that you'll see from back then to present is one thing that's remained consistent is Carousel's vision and Carousel's ability to anticipate change and stay forefront in the technology world. To get into our portfolio a little bit, I like to break it down into 4 main silos. First being voice, video, data, and then the fourth being managed services, which will tie into the 3 first categories. So now that we have the backstory on the initial Avaya partnership in 1997, I'd like to explain what I mean by Carousel's ability to anticipate change. So voice and telecom is a critical part of every business. And Carousel has the expertise to speak to traditional analog, digital solutions, all of the cabling requirements, while also growing with technology as advances of voice over IP, SIP, MPLS, etc. Everything that's been emerging over the past couple of years. And what I like about our forward-thinking mentality is that we're able to recognize early on that telecom and technology as a whole is an ever-changing industry. We're able to grow out our portfolio, and we're able to get a jump start on building us into a true unified communications. And UC is often misunderstood to be a product or a solution, but it's really more of a destination of a mobility strategy. UC simply means unifying end user experience and increasing business efficiencies through things like instant message, video conferencing, presence. So now in 2016, Carousel has the expertise across the entire voice spectrum, voice over IP and SIP, contact center solutions like workforce optimization, skills-based routing, CRM integration, speech analytics. We also have the breadth of mobility and the remote workforce, using an app from your phone, like a simple UC solution of call twinning, which is simultaneously ringing your desk phone and your cell phone. Also having voicemail to email. And then also our whole Microsoft portfolio with the increased involvement of Microsoft with their acquisition of Skype, and now Skype for Business being Microsoft Voice and a full UC platform. So carrying on, another area is cloud voice over IP. And cloud is a huge growing concept for us right now, and we help our customers better understand their cloud strategy. First thing I like to ask my customers is, what does cloud mean to you? Because are you just interested in cloud because you wanted somebody to remotely manage your phone system? Well, then maybe a traditional on-prem PBX with a managed service offer is something that could help you out. We take care of that day-to-day Mac work, but it's still an on-prem solution, so not necessarily hosted.
But then again, maybe something that makes sense for you is you need something that offers the scalability and the flexibility. Those are your business drivers. So, like a retail customer that has a slow time during the summer and then a busy time around the holidays where they see a spike in call volume, something like that. A cloud solution gives you the ability to turn up licenses on a month basis rather than having to buy an annual subscription. So being able to use your technology and help it work towards your business objectives. Another thing with cloud is as far as turning up location wise. So say you're trying to spin up locations rather than waiting for carrier services to take 45, 60 days, 90 days, being able to have the ability to turn it up in a matter of days, course of a week. That's another area where we see it really growing, and I think that's probably a good introduction into our carrier services practice. So, our carrier team, we have carrier services specialists that take the burden off of our customers' plates as far as bill analysis, evaluating design options, gathering pricing, contract negotiation, project management, repair escalation. We're able to do all of that for our customers, and now our customers are only able to reach out to Carousel, receiving one single bill. Maybe you have a ton of branch locations, and it's hard with the accounting on keeping what's going where. So, having one single bill coming from Carousel, and it's because we work with 40 plus internet service providers, and it depends geographically, but level 3, Windstream, AT&T, Frontier, XO. We have that ability. We actually have a tool that we use. So depending on what kind of services you're looking for and your geographical placement, we're able to put that into this tool and spin up. Well, these are the rates for these services based off of your area. These are some of the internet service providers that we would recommend. So and that's where most customers see a value in the carrier services, but it really doesn't stop there, because the other conversation that we're having from a carrier perspective is I'm seeing that my customers are increasingly looking to move in-house servers, in-house applications, data backups to off-site data centers. Looking for built-in redundancy, high availability, and really looking at it as a way to gain a competitive edge, enhancing their agility, and looking to free up their IT staff so that they can focus on things like innovation and IT strategy. So we're able to leverage our strategic partners, our best-of-breed cloud services providers, and help evaluate which applications make a good candidate for cloud hosting, that type of thing. So we can have that strategy conversation with our customers. Our second silo is video. So video is a growing technology, and organizations consume video in a multitude of different ways depending on what their business drivers are, right? So examples could be decreasing travel expenses or increasing collaboration, broadening customer reach, increasing customer satisfaction, many other reasons. So we have the ability to provide turnkey solutions from design, installation to ongoing support. And our video practice gives us the ability to understand the use case for video and provide audio and visual integration. So, for example, a manufacturing company could use video as a way to increase collaboration with their manufacturing sites overseas as a way to decrease time to market. An engineering company might use video for point-to-point collaboration as a way to annotate designs in real time and bridge the connection. Healthcare is leveraging video for things like telemedicine from the organization standpoint of reducing readmission rates, or maybe they're looking to increase their reach and there's someone that's 5-6 hours away and now they have an immediate connection to a cardiologist specialist. Higher education is also doing a ton with video right now with the whole concept of distance learning. You don't have to be in a physical classroom anymore. You're the remote workforce that's growing. It's carrying right through education. So there's concepts like flipped classrooms or virtual field trips, things of that nature. And one cool specific use case, one of my customers actually is a courtroom that specializes in domestic violence, and they're leveraging video to keep aggravated parties separated so it better manages the situation. It reduces that hostile environment, and it also allows for better communication because now they're not worried about that other party being there, looking at them, seeing them. And not to mention the ROI from reducing travel expenses or not paying for a shuttle to put an inmate on or travel somebody over and paying a guard, something like that. So there's the ROI behind it, and that's why more and more people are adopting the use of video. If you think of it like a conference room setting, an easy thing to picture is the cabling requirements that come in, and maybe you want to have a nice like video wall for a graphic design company, or if you think about having a conference room table and you'd like mics in front of each station and the ability to click it and mute out and have a side conversation and then click and be back in, or depending on the specific room and the acoustics, maybe it's better to have a ceiling mic solution, something like that. Digital signage is another cool thing to think about. So, like in a retail environment or around a campus, having wireless integrated AV and allowing you the ability to manage everything remotely. User adoption is another thing which is really huge when we're talking about video, and something that Carousel is able to do it for both the employee and the end user is we help with training and informing the end users around the new technologies, encouraging them to use it. And we want you to take advantage of the technology. If you know, once you invest in something, if you don't have the user adoption, then it kind of falls off, and you think that it's a bad investment. But you really just didn't have the time and to educate people on how to take advantage of the technologies. One cool way that we're doing this is through the idea of standardization. So if you think about having a same control system in each one of the conference rooms, you go in, you press this button, you press this button, and now you're live on a conference, and it's consistent. You're not fumbling around 5, 10 minutes every time you're trying to set up a video bridge, a consistent message. Or you can get even more specific. So if you have an A conference room, a B conference room, and a C conference room, whereas an A is a larger conference room, 12, 15 people, 90-inch display, group series 500. A B is a little bit smaller. Maybe it's 8 people and it's a 55-inch with the group series 300. Or there could be C, and it's a small conference room, and those are the mobile card solutions. So, we're able to have that. How are you going to use the technology and design solutions that are going to fit your environment? All right, we're almost done here, so I appreciate you bearing with me. Now we're going to get on to our third silo of our portfolio, which would be data. And I am not sure if it is data or if it is data, but what I am sure about is that there is a shit ton of it. So our data practice is anything network infrastructure related, and it's easy to think of a network refresh, but we're actually able to have the conversation around what goes into this. So an easy upgrade from 1 gig to 10 gig, but Carousel helps you strategize. Rather than spending the money upgrading all of your 1 gig tools, we help propose network aggregators. It allows you to continue the use of 1 gig tools while simultaneously providing network visibility and could ultimately lead to an immediate ROI. Another area is virtualization and your cloud strategy. So infrastructure consolidation, desktop virtualization, data center automation, virtualization acceleration solutions. I did practice that one several times, so I'm happy I finally nailed it. And aside from data centers and core network switching, routing, wireless is an evolving technology. So there's an increased demand for remote workforce. It leads to an increased productivity, and it shifts the traditional communications. As I was mentioning earlier, it's not that normal telecom, pick up the phone and call someone. We're broadening the ways of collaboration. Aside from staying current with the latest wireless standard, being able to provide quantitative metrics that best suit your business. So we're able to help with heat mapping, providing an increased range for devices, or maybe network access control, having a guest network and that access, wireless integrated AV, wireless data from the consumers. So that's a big mega trend going on right now. When consumers are in your store and they're shopping and they're on your network, you're able to push live coupons, live promos as a way to increase revenue stream. And Carousel's forward thinking has really sparked a recent reach into athletic stadiums. Stadiums wouldn't be investing hundreds of thousands of dollars if there wasn't a potential ROI. And that ROI right now is a strong wireless network. It keeps customer satisfaction. It increases customer satisfaction. So this concept goes from a sports fan in their favorite stadium to a high school student trying to pick which university they're going to go to. The concept of big data and the ability to leverage this data is a driving factor of network visibility. So, for example, Carousel partners with Extreme Networks to provide the analytics for the Buffalo Bills. So, when Tyrod Taylor goes off and has a day for 300 passing yards, 100 rushing yards, he's killing it, the Bills can push out a notification 20% off all Tyrod Taylor apparel. And that's a way to capitalize off real-time analytics and to drive revenue. And they can also do things like pushing notifications. Hey, the bathroom line at section 314 is really long right now. Go to 318, there's no line. Let's get you back in that game faster. And the intent is the same. It's all to provide a better fan experience, drive ticket sales, keep them coming back. And now they're building on their revenue stream as a way to continue moving forward. So I think network access control and secure wireless is a good intro into our security practice right now, because just as you picture physical security as a necessity, cybersecurity is equally, if not more important. So security's changed more in the last 2 years than it has in the past 5. And every dollar spent in preventative measures is $5 in reactionary remediation. So it's expensive in a monetary sense, but sometimes what's more painful to an organization is the loss of credibility and the brand loyalty due to a hack. So security is an ever-changing technology, and really isn't if you will be hacked, but when you will be hacked. And I like to describe it, it's like life insurance. Do you have life insurance? Of course you have life insurance, because it's inevitable, and it's the same thing with cybersecurity. Secure Wireless provides the ability to enforce policy on your network. It allows you to contain what information is brought onto your network, and also, just as important, what information is allowed to leave your network. So you've probably heard the term next-gen firewall. And next generation firewall sounds really fancy, and I guess it is. But really, what this marketing term is the shift from port-based firewalls to next-gen appliance, which allows from one box to run multiple tools like URL filtering, antivirus, whatever. Another thing that the next-gen firewall provides is the ability for tools like sandboxing, which is a cloud-based malware analysis. Also ATP, advanced threat protection, like zero-day threats. And that's because security is an almost impossible to future-proof, but we can help. Ideas or concepts like penetration testing, vulnerability scans, assist with PCI compliance, proposing the best solutions based on your specific environment, and help with maintenance and ongoing support. And that gets into a little bit of security as a service, SIM, log management, Carousel's managed services portfolio, which we'll get into the fourth silo. Security is one thing that some hacks could have been avoided because they had the proper tool in place, but lacked the ability to actively monitor. They allowed for that vulnerability. So when you think back to hacks on big businesses like Target and Home Depot, do you think that they didn't have a next-gen firewall? Obviously, they had a next-gen firewall. It's that they didn't have the proper personnel actively monitoring it. So, having security as a service, maybe outsourcing something from IT departments as a whole. They're constantly being tasked with more and more, but the department's staying the same size. So, being able to have somebody that's doing that log management for you and allowing you focus on where your core business strategies are and a little bit more business objectives, where Carousel is able to play. Our fourth silo of our portfolio would be managed services, and this is really where Carousel is moving as an organization. As I mentioned, our managed services will tie into our voice, video, and data practice, and this is where we're striving to be an agnostic integrator and an elite managed services provider. So in the past 3 months, we've actually acquired 2 companies, but I think the strategy behind these acquisitions really portrays Carousel's corporate mission. One of these acquisitions was for Atrion, a very respected Cisco partner, and through this acquisition, Carousel was able to absorb the technical resources as well as a way to boost our way through the through the Cisco partner channel. And the reason behind this merger is because we understand that most of our customers have multi-vendor environments, with Cisco being a common theme. And our mission is to fully manage our customers. It would not be complete without adding Cisco expertise. So Atrion did move Carousel from a $400+ million revenue company to a 550+, but more importantly, it helped us build our services offering and expand our expertise. Carousel went from a 1,300 employee company to a 1,600 employee company, and it's still like 70-75% of these employees are on the service side. So it's allowing us to maintain our consistent focus on customer first. And an easy way to understand managed services is that we take the chore or the day-to-day tasks like moves, adds, changes, that kind of thing off of your plate, and we allow your team to focus more on business drivers and where the business strategy is headed. And a key part of our managed services portfolio is due to a solution called Nectar, which is a UC management platform. And that allows proactive monitoring and management. So we're able to apply this tool to see real-time analytics of voice, of video, of data infrastructure. And while Nectar provides us the competitive advantage, Carousel's expertise and knowledge base is what separates us from a more traditional VAR. The reason we've built out these 4 areas of our portfolio is to become that agnostic integrator. We're looking to support our customers across several core industries operating on multi-vendor environments. And our vast portfolio allows us to have the business conversations around what are the top objectives and how certain evolving technologies can help us make these objectives attainable. So some of the common business objectives that I see are reducing cost, right? Everybody's reducing cost. So we're able to have the conversation around, okay, well, have you done a risk-free carrier audit? And we can have the conversation around moving consumption business methods. Are you happy with the CapEx model, or are you looking more into operational expenses, and we can leverage cloud solutions? Also, strategies to consolidate the network, help building predictable spend models, offering analytical tools, gathering that big data that we talked about, and increasing business efficiencies, all as a way to reduce waste. Another business driver is reducing risk. So like we said, cybersecurity, it's increasing in scale and sophistication of threat. Next-gen security helps with the zero-day attacks, application visibility and control, so maybe being able to remotely wipe an employee's device when they leave the company. also disaster recovery strategy, talking about compliancy and also the benefits of a managed services provider, taking, like we said, the log management and the SIM portion off of your plate and having that fully managed and supported on our end. Another business driver I see is constantly improving customer loyalty. So ways to do that is mobile engagement, mobility, having mobile engagement with customers, easier collaboration within your company, maybe from a contact center perspective. Efficiency through video and chat when you go on a website, being able to talk to somebody right away, increasing that customer experience helps reduce repeat customer, building that brand loyalty. Another area I see a lot is improving processes. So the concept of automation, maybe being able to reduce help desk tasks, or like I said, managed services, outsourcing more of the chore day-to-day IT tasks and allowing you to focus on business strategy. Another area I see a lot is from a company keeping their current employees happy, up to date with technology. They want to have that company image that they're up to speed. So changes around unified communications, having mobile apps or a remote workforce or allowing video conferencing, always increasing collaboration and increasing employee satisfaction. And I think those all are common themes, but the one consistent theme with all businesses is always looking to increase revenue. And how can you do that? So, you see reporting, analytics, gaining value by correlating data. And think about an organization. They have data in every single call recording transaction, marketing data, sales data, R&D data. How do you correlate it all together to make a better business decision? A business may want to gather the data from the consumer so they know that the next time they're shopping, they can increase the amount spent by offering promotions for items they've previously purchased. They know that the customer already likes those things. Give them an incentive to buy more. So, I think that the best way to describe Carousel is that we're a company that's large enough to handle your business and your technology needs, but that we're really nimble enough to care. Thanks, guys.
Take 37, and now I realize why you say take whatever at the beginning of a scene, because there's already been a million of these, and how am I ever going to tell them straight? Lesson learned. Thank you, Jim, for the kind words. I always knew you felt that way, but it's really nice hearing you say it. My name is Marc Scasino. I'm an account executive with Carousel Industries. I cover Southern California. I live in beautiful San Diego. And today, blew it again. Damn. I'm going to get one of these. My name is Marc Scasino. I'm a Carousel account executive. I live in Southern California. I got to stop saying. Every time I don't know what I'm saying, I say, duh.